When it comes to sports in Lorain, your station to watch is TV20, Lorain City Schools Television.
Good morning and welcome to Final Four Saturday, and that's what it is here at the Shot Palace. Jay Ferguson, along with Ohio Coach of the Year, Cheryl Bancik, at the Shot Palace to bring you the 5th and 6th grade finals of the Lorain City Schools Basketball Tournament. This morning we have an exciting game, we hope, between the 6th graders from Whittier Middle School and the 6th graders from Toni Morrison. And Cheryl, different priorities in this and different rules, but as a coach at the varsity level, what do you look for in a game like this?
Future players. It's really exciting to see future Lady Saints, future Lady Admirals, but we're looking for fundamental skills and potential and athleticism. And I think there's a lot of it on both teams. This should be a good game today.
Well, yeah, it was. This was a great weekend last year. When Joe talked to me about it early on, I was really excited to come back and do this again, because last year I just remembered that we had 2 games that were a lot of fun, and some of the kids that we saw last year as 6th graders, we had an opportunity to see again this year as 7th graders. So, you know, throw the records out, try and figure out what's going on along with us. 20-minute halves. Running clock other than timeouts and stoppages in the last 2 minutes, I believe, are the rules. Very similar to an AAU or a summer league game. So we'll see what happens as we come back. The 5th and 6th graders from Whittier and the 5th and 6th graders from Toni Morrison when we return.
Does your child have asthma? Did you know asthma attacks can be triggered by things like shower curtains, a child's blanket, even a teddy bear? Help prevent your child's asthma attacks. Call 1-866-NO-ATTACKS or visit noattacks.org to get the latest information and avoid the emergency room.
I don't want to feel like a fish with no water.
I'm Bob Costas, and I've been broadcasting sports for a long time. Much of what I do is ad-libbed, but still one of the most important aspects of my job is being able to write. Narrations, essays, commentaries. It's essential to express those thoughts and concepts clearly and concisely. Good writing is essential for almost any career. And with today's advanced technology, the National Commission on Writing reports that the need to write well has never been more important. Writing is everybody's business.
Following the introduction of players, we'll be ready to go. Looking at the officials for today's game, that looks like a longtime Lorain teacher and counselor Barry Buck with the ball at half court, and Larry Reardon at the north end of the floor. This is just a wonderful thing. I'm glad to see it come back. It started several years ago. Oh, we're going to have the national anthem, so we'll be quiet and listen to the music. One of the real neat things about this, Cheryl, is that the 5th and 6th graders get treated just like the big kids do in terms of the introductions and the national anthem, the setup of the gym, very much as it would be if you were down on the sidelines today.
And did you notice their uniforms? They're in the old Lorain High uniforms.
Yeah, just, you know, the scoreboard's on. Jim Allen, you know, who is more Mr. Lorain Athletics than Jim Allen on the PA? this venue that's hosted so many great players, the Shot Palace, back, to the Bubbles Harrises and Doug Graysons of the 60s and on up, when the girls started, to those great teams that you were a part of in the 80s and the Kim Waltons and the Gladdens and the Harold Waltons and all that, all the way up, to present day. Just a great venue.
And the Jillian Van Wagnens. Notice she's coaching the girls from Toni Morrison today.
Well, she's only playing one sport this spring. Why not?
16 varsity letters in 5 sports, so she's accomplished quite a bit. Now she's adding coaching to her resume.
Yeah, she's got extra time this spring. We'll try and pick up the starters here as we go along. In yellow is Whittier. That's Jessica Taylor, 41. 35, Christina Atkinson. 30, Alexis Middlebrooks. And that's Middlebrooks with the ball. We have 31, Mackenzie Stoika, and number 40, I believe, Laura Santana was the player that I missed. Black 5, Coach Buck, Counselor Buck, Mr. Buck, Barry Buck with the call. Will set the lineup for Toni Morrison on defense. That is number 15, DeJohn Worthy, knocking the ball away. Also out there, 4, Talia Thomas, 5, and Adriana Neely.
Jessica Taylor takes a shot from the top, and they regain their own rebound.
That's Talia Thomas into the passing lane, and she'll come down 1-on-2. Ball goes out of bounds off of Mackenzie Stoika. One of the things at this age, Cheryl, is you look for who's got the ability and the confidence to turn and face the basket and make a fundamental play. It's more whether or not you're trying to shoot it to make it or shoot it to get it off.
Very true.
That was an air ball out of bounds, and we will go the other way as we finish getting the Morrison lineup. As we said, 15, DeJohn Worthy, 55, Victoria Chapman, and 33, Aaliyah Worthy. That's Middlebrooks into the lane. She jumps, stops, and is stuck, and there's going to be a 3 seconds pretty much on the whole team.
Alexis is definitely one of the better players for Whittier. She's the sister of Corey Middlebrooks, who plays at Whittier volleyball, and Brianna Middlebrooks, who was featured on the cover of The Edge last week for track at Southfield.
Yeah, know her very well.
Very athletic family.
That shot no good, and coming off to Whittier.
We haven't had a score yet, but we've got 5 shots off, so not bad in a minute and a half.
One of the hard things for young players to understand is that you don't free yourself or get the ball by running to it. You have to run away from it. There's an offensive rebound, back up, and another one.
And one. Very nice.
Christina Atkinson is going to open the scoring, and she's got 2, and official Larry Reardon says you get 1 more when you get fouled. It's not like gym class or an open gym.
This is the first time that these girls have been able to play on the big court. We've been running 3 games side by side every Saturday for the last 5 weeks. So this is their first time on the big floor. It's much bigger than the short court.
Yes, it is. And it's much better lined.
Yes.
they now have lanes to use. Atkinson shot off the front, no, and rebound by Neely, and we'll go the other way with Morrison.
And Neely goes hard. That's nice to see.
Taken away, and coming back is Jessica Taylor. Taylor into the lane, jump stops, shot up, glass, no, and that was Atkinson. And it's run down by Jessica Taylor, and that's Middlebrooks. She's got 2, 4-0, Whittier. 17 minutes to go, first half.
Whittier's 10 deep today. Toni Morrison only 6, and actually Morrison has been playing with just 5 players most of this season. So that's quite an accomplishment to get to the final game with 5 players.
Just for people who are just tuning in for the first time as Whittier takes over anybody, how does that happen? How do they decide who plays and who doesn't?
Anybody can sign up. It's open to all 6th graders.
And it's just the numbers of girls who sign up, and Morrison didn't have. But we also have, as that ball goes out of bounds off Christina Atkinson off the shot of Jessica Taylor, we also have situations where some schools have more teams than others, correct?
Correct, or they don't have enough players and they combine with other schools.
Substitutions, Jillian Van Wagenen clears her bench. As
one of them.
Gabrielle Perez comes into the lineup. And for Whittier, 55, Ashley Melendez off the bench. There's a drive and a whistle, and I believe the foul is going to be on Atkinson, and we're going to get 2 shots for
Cashel Williams is the coach for Whittier. I understand she's one of the 6th grade student teachers in the building, which is nice to see her jumping in.
Adriana Neely is going to go to the line for Toni Morrison, looking to get them on the board, 4-0, 15-33, and ticking as she shoots. Little short.
It's nice to see the girls all know how to line up on the side of the foul line.
You know, those are things that when you turn the basketball game on TV, you take it for granted that they know those kinds of things. But they had to learn them someplace, and this is the place. It's better that they learn them in 5th and 6th grade than your freshman coach is taking time to teach them.
Absolutely.
This is a great program development tool that Athletic Director Brian Corey's put in place. Good persistence there for Neely, and has the shot blocked by Middlebrooks, but runs it down. Neely back out to Thomas. Thomas, no. Rebound is Stoika. And she'll bring it across.
With the left hand, I notice.
Yeah. Because she was on the left side of the floor, I hope. Her shot comes up short and out of bounds. 14:40 to go as the clock ticks in the first half. 4-0 Whittier. This is Toni Morrison with the ball.
Talia Thomas.
I coached Talia's mom at Lorain High.
Uh-oh, you're dating yourself here.
Jessica Taylor.
Wow, nice layup off the right side.
Well, that's okay.
And she sprints back on defense. I didn't say that. You did.
Oops.
There's no backcourt pressure either. You can't apply defense until the ball crosses half court. So once the possession is determined, you'll notice all the girls get back to at least the half court line.
Middlebrooks.
And then hopefully they pick up.
Had it, lost it, and Thomas walks it ahead. And this is Neely. The blocking foul on Jessica Taylor. I don't know if that's the Princeton offense, but we do have, Jillian does have all her players above the foul line. Substitution for Morrison, DeJohn Worthy back into the lineup, replacing Victoria Chapman.
And that's probably not by design, I'm going to guess.
Turnover, and Stoika has it and lost it again, but you can't. There's the example of what you were just talking about. It was taken away by 41 Gabrielle Perez, but she can't do that in the backcourt.
Not in this league. That's good instinctiveness to go after what she would think is a loose ball, but can't do it unless the ball has crossed that half-court line.
There's a double dribble called on Middlebrooks, and we'll go the other way. Additional substitution, Chapman back in, as well as somebody that we don't have, or I don't have. There it is at the bottom. 15 is Skylar Bromley for Whittier.
Jillian only has 6 players down there, so she's doing a nice job every opportunity she has of getting somebody in and out, getting the one off the bench in to preserve their speed.
Well, you know, when you're used to playing with 5 and you got 6, that's called a luxury. Whittier will bring it up with Middlebrooks. And there's her pass to Bromley, turns and shoots. No. Rebound is batted around and controlled by Morrison. And that's another way you conserve energy, is you walk it up the court. Talia Thomas, baseline move.
Nice crossover, too, to take it to the baseline. She doesn't score, but...
Ball on the ground here. Passed up to Bromley. Bromley hands it off to Atkinson, and here comes Whittier.
Oh, looks like an over and a back to me. No?
I guess we're not using that rule.
We'll let a little slide here, I'm sure.
Oops, or that one.
We don't want them to call everything.
That's right.
We would be here for a really long time.
No, the clock runs. We wouldn't get as much action, that's for sure. There's that one they're going to have to call as it goes up and off the top by Talia Thomas. 11:42 to go, clock ticking, first half, 6-0 Whittier.
I like the aggressiveness. No one seems to be afraid to shoot.
Right.
And they're all battling for the rebound.
Well, and nobody seems to be, for want of a better word, hiding. There's an attempt at a screen there, but down low, and Bromley shoots it up. No. Back off the glass. No. That was Atkinson. She's got it back again, missed it, gets it back, and bangs it home.
3 rebounds and finally goes in. I think she's got 4 of the 6.
Used to call that, 4 of the 8.
4 of the 8.
Used to call that a stat trip when I coached. You got a couple of rebounds, couple of shots. Long pass down court off the hands of Worthy, and will go the other way. Adriana Neely coming back in for Coach Jillian with 10:50 to go in the first half, and we'll get somebody else up off the Whittier bench, number 40, Laura Santana.
Whittier definitely has the size advantage with Atkinson inside.
Size and numbers. And as we saw last year, specifically what I remember in the boys game, that was pretty much the determining factor in the 6th grade boys game.
And even Middlebrooks at the point guard, she's one of the tallest players on the floor, and she's running the offense.
Oh, there's a steal.
Stoika will go.
With pressure, whacked from behind, and Stoika's going to go to the line shooting 2. And she's got good instincts because she heard the whistle and immediately walked to the line.
And she has good instincts because she comes from a basketball family. She is the sister of Madison Stoika, who played 8th grade at Whittier this year.
Okay.
Also a point guard.
And it's great to see some of that Lorain tradition and continuity coming back as we see siblings and others, in the pipeline that was here for so long coming back. Stoika missed the first one. Second one with a little bit more art goes in. 9-0, Whittier pitching a shutout. And the ball will come up with Adriana Neely. Man-to-man, I'm sure, is one of the rules. Was knocked away by Middlebrooks, and
you can't double team either.
Neely was out of bounds on the sideline when she recovered it. We're under 9:20 to go here, as we said, running clock, 9-0, and this is Alexis Middlebrooks bringing it over.
We're basically through 1 quarter of play.
Ball knocked away and out of bounds off of Perez for Morrison. Jessica Taylor will inbound for Whittier. Alexis Middlebrooks. That's Taylor.
There's a good shot, and it's good. That makes 11.
She's got 4. Coach Van Wagenen wants to talk things over.
And the clock runs during the timeout as well.
Maybe not.
It should.
No, they think they're going to stop it for the finals here. 11-0, as this is a 30-second timeout. It's more, I'm sure at this level it's not a lot of strategy going on here, but more a matter of, you can see by Jillian's, body language there that it's more just calm down and let's just keep playing. And it's the coaching at this level is what goes on in the practices.
Yes, and anything can happen at this point.
Right. So we'll come back here with 8:36 to go. And 11-0, Whittier leads. But Toni Morrison will inbound the ball and have to go the length of the court. This is Aaliyah Worthy, and she will inbound it to Talia Thomas. And here comes Toni Morrison. Okay, Cheryl, here's the question. I know that Whittier's the Warriors. What's Toni Morrison?
I don't know.
Okay, there's a shot up, glass.
I have some guesses, but
Gabrielle Perez missed it. And here comes Alexis Middlebrooks. And that's off the glass, and no. Well, we have a stepdaughter at Helen Steiner Rice, and I spent the summer telling her she was going to be a Rice Krispie, so I don't know what they are either. There's a nice pass, shot up,
very
good.
nice.
Taylor's got 6 off the nice assist from Middlebrooks. 13-0, Whittier. And the ball walks up. And across, and this is Talia Thomas. There's a lob
good
into
pass
the middle.
Inside, and
Whistle,
one.
basket and foul. Gabrielle Perez, first basket. 3-5, Christina Atkinson gets the foul.
She's going to go to the line for 1.
7:26 to go. And as we've said, the clock ticks. I've noticed watching the girls' game on TV all year at the college level, the players moved back one space on the free throw line. Your opinion on that?
I'd like to see that at the high school level because I think the second spot has an advantage because the percentage of times the ball dumps or comes off the rim in that location is much higher than in the underneath spot.
Well, and it gives players more room to maneuver,
Correct.
too. And it takes some of the physicality out because I agree with it. I like the change, and I think that it takes away a lot of that. Let me see if I can push the underneath player out of bounds and get a rebound. This is Middlebrook. Her team leads 13-2.
Nice move.
Crossed over a couple times, got in the lane, and banged it off. And Jessica Taylor recovers out top. Picked up the dribble, now looking, finds Middlebrooks.
There she goes.
Yeah. Gets to the elbow and hoists one up and
Hits
scores.
a nice 10-footer.
Alexis Middlebrooks with 4, 15-2. And it's going to take 2 players to get it in bounds, ladies. That's what Barry Buck said, and he picked it up and tossed it to Worthy, who inbounded it to Thomas. This is Talia Thomas. Picks up the dribble, puts the dribble back down.
And we're okay with that.
Yeah. She wasn't over half court yet, so I guess if we're not playing 10-second rules, she could have stood there with it in her hand for the rest of the half. Whistle in the backcourt and a travel on Christina Atkinson. And that will bring it back to Toni Morrison. And the substitution gets Perez to the bench. And that shot up and no by Thomas. Rebound fought for, scrum, and the ball will come out of bounds on the baseline. Larry Reardon's got a foul, 35. I don't know if we're counting fouls, Cheryl, but
we're not keeping track of fouls.
okay, I was going to say that I got at least 3 on Christina Atkinson. We had a substitution here, Julia Taylor into the lineup for Whittier. There's a pass and jump ball called. And black ball, so it'll stay here. 5 minutes to go. And this is Aaliyah Worthy. Gabrielle Perez coming back in for DeJohn Worthy. And looks like 11, Mariah Hitchens into the Whittier lineup. Passes underneath and up and good for Adriana Neely. She's in the books, 15-4 now. The Morrison team trails as Alexis Middlebrooks brings it across. Knocked out of bounds by Perez. Cheryl, part of what this program is supposed to do, we're already seeing at the varsity level for both you and Coach Plassick over at Southridge, and that's the number of freshmen and sophomores that are able to contribute. And a lot of that is just good athletic ability. Christina Atkinson knocks another one down. She's got 6, 17-4. But also learning to be coached at this younger level makes, has to help the development for you all.
Makes a big difference. It also improves the number of girls that are trying out for basketball at all levels.
That shot up, knocked out of bounds, and it'll be timeout Whittier with 3:39 to go. They have a 17-4 lead, and I can't tell if this is a full timeout or a 30-second timeout. As
I think they're all the same.
Okay, this is a 30. It's only our second timeout, but it's a 30-second timeout. Once again, a lot of the sub times here, the timeout may be just as much for substitution to get kids in and out off the court as anything else.
Yeah, everybody's certainly looking to play today.
Coach Michelle Williams over to the scorer's table, and that might have been what she was trying to find out. We'll reset the Whittier lineup. 11 is Mariah Hitchens, 41 Jessica Taylor, 31 Mackenzie Stoika, 30 Alexis Middlebrooks, and 51 is Shariona King.
Sounds good.
And I apologize for these names. I'm not didn't get a chance to talk to the coaches. There's a whistle, and we've got foul back there, and I think that's going to be an illegal screen. As
looks like it.
Coach Reardon, a lot of that is just extra effort trying to get your teammate free there, and Jessica Taylor got called for walling off.
It's part of learning the game.
Yep. Those are all things that get taught some point. That's the important thing here. Is anything that you see that you might say, why are they doing that? It's a learning process, and they're going to learn to not do that or to do that better at some point. And the quicker you start, the better off you are. There's a three-pointer up and off the back, no by Taylor. Run down but out of bounds off of Mackenzie Stoika. 2:42 to go first half, 17-4. And we'll get a substitution here. No, we won't. It's going to play on as the ball was inbounds. Talia Thomas brings it across. And there's an over and back call as she flipped it in the backcourt to her teammate Aaliyah Worthy. But that will get DeJohn Worthy back into the lineup. 2:15 to go. Middlebrooks has it. And she takes it to the wing and has a shot attempt knocked, but there's going to be a foul on Perez, I believe. And we're going to have Middlebrooks go to the line. Alexis Middlebrooks has 4 in the ball game as we're at a minute 52 and ticking. So one of the rules that I thought was in place was that it would stop after under 2 minutes. I'm incorrect. After 1 minute, Joe Bach says.
1 minute.
Alexis Middlebrooks at the line. First shot, back rim, no. And that'll get a couple of more players from Whittier into the lineup. 55, Ashley Melendez, and 40, Laura Santana return. They're still at the allowable complement of 5. Middlebrooks' second shot, back rim, no. Run down by Thomas, and here comes Morrison with a minute 10 to go. Thomas has it. Back in the corner and knocked out of bounds by Santana. We'll stay here. We're under a minute now. So 17-4, Whittier. Inbounds to Talia Thomas. She's double teamed and gets it across to Perez, who hoists one up. Back rim, no. Middlebrooks runs it down. Under 40 to go as we come across. Alexis Middlebrooks. Cross to Bromley. That shot up.
Good ball movement there
by Atkinson, and we'll come back under 30 seconds to go as Morrison brings it across with Adriana Neely. Neely stops on the wing, looks for help. Here's one of those situations where you have to learn to handle, and that's moving to get a teammate open. That shot up, no, blocked. And the rebound's fought for and come out of there with Santana ahead of the field with less than 5 seconds to go. She jump stops glass, no. Rebound is off to Morrison, and that'll do it for the first half. Whittier 17, Toni Morrison 4. Girls 5th and 6th grade city championship. We'll be back with second half action right after this message.
It's a sound we take for granted. Life seems so simple as a child, yet 500,000 children in Ohio have vision problems. Problems that, if not detected early, can lead to loss of sight and difficulty learning. Simple activities like riding a bike can become dangerous. When you register your vehicle or renew your license plates, add a $1 donation to the Save Our Sight Fund and help save the sight of Ohio's children. For more information, call 1-800-755-GROW.
Thanks for giving to Save Our Sight.
Hi, Mr. President. My parents believe that eating meals together will make our country strong. Is this something that you did when you were a kid?
I did eat with my family so long as my mother wasn't cooking.
It's not good making fun of your mother, even if you are president, but it is good to have dinner with your kids. We know the more often children have dinner with their families, the less likely they are to smoke, drink, and use drugs. So simply having dinner together can help your children forever, even if you're not a great cook.
Jay Ferguson and Cheryl Bancik back here at the Shot Palace. I'm the one without the Coach of the Year plaques as we get going. Second half action, girls 5th and 6th grade championship. It's Whittier on top 17-4. They're in yellow. This is a takeaway, and we'll bring it up with Victoria. Oh, excuse me.
And there's
Leah Worthy.
Coach Van Wagenen telling them spread the floor out a little bit, and they did.
Yes, they did. And that shot up and no good by DeJohn Worthy. And we come the other way. We'll try and set the players for you as we go. That's Mackenzie Stoika, 31. 41, Jessica Taylor. 30, Alexis Middlebrooks. 35, Christina Atkinson, and number 50 is Julia Taylor. That is the lineup for Whittier. Down low, that's
very strong
Taylor.
Move.
And had it knocked away
Julia
and rebound.
Taylor.
Talia Thomas has the rebound. Will walk the other way with Toni Morrison trailing 17-4. I guess looking and seeing that Adriana Neely is on the bench would tell me that Talia Thomas, DeJohn Worthy, Aaliyah Worthy, Gabrielle Perez, and Victoria Chapman are on the floor for Johnny Wilson. The shot up by
Toni Morrison.
Toni Morrison. I knew I was going to do it.
I did the same thing.
Knew I was going to do it.
We're at least on the right side of town.
Whittier will have it on the out of bounds. Looking to trigger is Jessica Taylor. She gets it outside to Alexis Middlebrooks. That shot up from about 17. No. 17-4, Whittier. And the points in the first half, 6 from Atkinson, 6 from Taylor, 4 from Middlebrooks, and 1 from Stoika. That was the Whittier scoring. With only 4 points, Morrison got a basket from Adriana Neely and a basket from Gabrielle Perez.
And that's Middlebrooks with another jumper from the right side.
So she has 6, joining her 2 teammates. 19-4 here. It was mentioned to me at halftime, and I'm always happy to provide a plug for my good friend Mike Conabear and the great work that the Boys and Girls Clubs of Lorain County do with our students, that this is a joint effort between Lorain City Schools and the Boys and Girls Clubs. And thank you very much, Mr. Conabear, and your organization for all that you do for our kids.
Our coaches all this year are volunteers.
Very good.
So we have some of our Admiral King seniors that are coaching this year, and some of the employees from the Boys and Girls Club are coaching as well.
That's, yeah.
And parents.
There's so much good that comes through the Lorain Boys and Girls Clubs that I can't begin to describe it. I know that some of the things that they've provided for us in years past. We had a wonderful after-school program last year and over at Longfellow. And some of this afternoon and Saturday programming they provide. This is Alexis Middlebrooks. She is being guarded by Talia Thomas, but jump stops and bangs it off the glass and in. She's got 4.5, 8 in the ball game. Whistle, and that'll get a substitution. Laura Santana into the lineup for Whittier, replacing Mackenzie Stoika.
It's a much bigger court than the girls are used to playing on, and I think Toni Morrison, with just the 6 players, is struggling a little bit with that.
Well, 21-4, they're having difficulty putting the ball in the basket for sure.
But they're shooting.
Yes.
They're getting the shot off.
And they're competing, and that's maybe the most important thing. Is I haven't seen any signs of give up. Whistle, timeout, Coach Van Wagenen.
That was a very nice take to the basket from Jessica Taylor there for Whittier.
Okay, the clock is stopped with 16 minutes and 31 seconds to go. First half, 21-4. We were talking a little bit before we came on the air about the many facets of Jillian Van Wagenen. And how many varsity letters did you say? 6?
16 by the end of her career as a Lady Admiral.
Okay, now let me see if I can. My math is correct. You have 4 years, and you have fall sports, winter sports, and spring sports. So 4 times 3 is 12. So she had to double up a few times.
She's very busy in the fall.
And,
tennis, golf, cross country in the fall.
And
basketball, softball.
And priorities in order, an honors student as well.
3.766 GPA, number 9 out of 265.
And headed to Ohio University next year.
Lady Bobcat.
Down to Athens. As my good friend Bob Braskich would say, Harvard on the Hocking.
One of your girls from over at Southview is going to be her roommate, Katie Oley.
Oh, very good. I know they're great friends. There's the drive and knocked away. Middlebrooks had it and tried to go up with the one hand and caught the bottom of the rim, and back comes Morrison.
Morrison not quitting, that's for sure.
Nope. That's Worthy and knocked away, and here comes Jessica Taylor.
That's that length from the Whittier girls again.
Yeah, off the glass, no. Rebound battle for, and Taylor got it back.
Taylor does a nice job of getting her elbows out on holding the ball.
And that is Atkinson. She gets it off the rim. No, and the rebound comes down to John Worthy. She'll bring it over. 15.5 to go. Into the corner, shot up and no good by Aaliyah Worthy, and will come the other way. This is Ashley Melendez. She gives it back to Middlebrooks. Definitely starting to see some signs of fatigue. These girls played 2 games yesterday?
Yes. Yes.
So it's been a basketball weekend for these ladies. Whistle and a foul will go the other way, and the foul was actually called on Christina Atkinson of Whittier. So with 15 minutes to go, Larry Reardon has a foul into the lineup for Whittier. Number 15, Skylar Bromley. Number 11, Mariah Hitchens. Clock continues to run as the changes are made, and that'll get us with Talia Thomas, one hand down court to John Worthy, who misses the shot long. Rebound back up and no by Perez. Back up again, no by Worthy. And finally, Whittier had it and lost it.
Uh-oh, that looked like backcourt pressure.
Yes, it did.
Hard to not want to go after that when it's a loose ball.
I don't know what the rule is. When it's backcourt pressure and when it's defending an outlet pass.
You can't defend the outlet pass.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's kind of like that rule in soccer that I don't understand, where sometimes it's offside and sometimes it's not. It has to do with the players and not the ball. But in any event, Whittier's got it, 21-4. Middlebrooks and Taylor. Short rebound by Aaliyah Worthy, and she hands it to Talia Thomas. And she walks it up.
Toni Morrison doing a nice job of spreading out and getting in the right spots on the court.
That ball
She's
not
having a hard time making an entry pass.
Skylar Bromley had it and was tied up by her like number to John Worthy. And it will stay with Morrison. That gets Victoria Chapman off the bench. Now somebody's got to come out because of the 5 players allowed rule. And each team wants to play offense here. If we hurry, I think that Morrison's going to get a quick one. And Thomas had it and missed it. And off the leg, and this will get another substitution. Mackenzie Stoica returns for Whittier, along Julia Taylor coming in. Middlebrooks out, Taylor out. There's a pass in and up, and basket by Adriana Neely for Toni Morrison. And Whittier will inbound. This is 51, Sheriona King. All these substitutions, I was just counting to 5 on each side there for a minute. Stoic had knocked it away, but had it knocked away, but there was a whack there by Neely, and it will stay with Whittier. 12.5 minutes to go, second half, 21-6. This has been all Whittier, but it's been about so much more than the scoreboard.
Good hustle getting on the floor.
Julia Taylor had it, and she got whacked. And we'll stay down here with Whittier. 12:10 to go, and we will inbound with Julia Taylor. Shot up off the inbound almost by Stoica. Run down out of bounds, and we'll stay here again as it's off of Adriana Neely, number 5. Less than 12. You can hear a little in the background as the boys start to loosen up. We'll bring you the boys' championship game immediately following this one on WLCS TV 20. That shot came up a little short and out of bounds, and will go the other way to Toni Morrison.
The boys' game features Longfellow versus Lowell, which should be a nice matchup.
And a chance to screw up the L words, just like I got Johnny Wilson instead of Toni Morrison.
Good anticipation on that entry pass.
Yeah, absolutely. And they find Stoica, who goes glass. You know, that's one thing I've noticed with the shooting here. By design, it looks like we're getting a lot of girls trying to use the square. And,
which is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Stoica has it after the long rebound. We're at the 11-minute mark here as she controls against Neely. She gets it across to Mariah Hitchens. Hitchens is guarded by Perez. Double dribbled with the ball. Stopped and started. And And with 10:45 to go, Toni Morrison will control. It was 17-4.
I see something I really like there. Dejan Worthy for Toni Morrison, jamming the cutter, cutting across the key in that last play.
Wow. Well, if you like that, it's because you taught Jillian that, and she passed it on. So Talia Thomas knocks one down for Morrison.
There we go, 8 on the board.
It was 13 at the half, and it's 13 right now. And we're going to get a gaggle of them from Whittier at the scorer's table now, and next whistle we'll get some substitutions. This is Stoika. Stoika hoists one from the top of the key, wide right. Rebound fought for, whistle, jump ball.
Nice hustle.
We'll stay here. Let's see, 40 is Laura Santana, 54 is Makia Noble, 55, Ashley Melendez. They're all into the Whittier lineup. Santana will inbound the ball. She gets it into Melendez. Shot back to Santana, no. And the rebound by Morrison, and that is Aaliyah Worthy, and she will walk it up. 9.5 to go. 21-8 Whittier. It's been an even second half. Lost out of bounds there off of Thomas, but the lead was 13 at the half.
Barry Buck's going to chase that loose ball down.
You know what? One of the things I can remember early on in my coaching career here was how far the ball could roll out of bounds when it rolled out of bounds
at Admiral King. You got that right.
And how aggravated we used to be as coaches when some of our less ambitious officials would send a player to go get it. That was time for the players to rest. There's the drive down the middle. Nice move by Stoika.
Complaint of my ladies.
Stoika got it back in glass and rim and good. She's got 3, 23-8. And this is Talia Thomas. There's a hockey substitution as Jillian pulls Dejan Worthy out. Perez,
good catch and square up and go around and off the glass.
Back up, no. That was Neely. And here comes Stoika.
Not shy to shoot.
Knocked it away from behind, and here comes Neely.
And she's going hard.
Circles the field and shows good speed. Glass, no there. Rebound controlled by Stoika. She's a little bit gassed from her last trip down, but you can't steal it in the backcourt.
Little backcourt pressure. Going to be Whittier ball.
And I really like that rule, as I like the man-to-man rule. Cheryl,
yes.
Let them learn to play the game without letting some of the coaching moves hinder their development. There's a couple more substitutions. Dejan Worthy back in, as well as Jessica Taylor for Whittier. 7:35 to go. 23-8. The Lady Warriors. Knocked away, run down, and taken back here by Hitchens, who brings it ahead. Taylor ends up with it, and she's got a little bit of a jump shot there. Ball up over the head, nice form, and we'll come back the other way. This is Neely. She has it knocked away and out of bounds. The ball off of Jessica Taylor. So, Coach, what do you think here? Are you encouraged? What do you see that you like for the future of Lorain City girls basketball?
I'm impressed. If we go to one high school, I'm thinking all these girls are going to be future Lady Admirals. So,
as I tell everyone, that's a decision made above my pay grade. So there's a shot up and no by Thomas, and knocked away. Whistle, and the foul will be on Whittier, and we'll stay down here with Toni Morrison.
Makia Noble, a little too aggressive there.
And this will be inbounded by Gabrielle Perez.
Go, 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 go.
Aaliyah Worthy back to Perez. Shot up, no. Rebound, battled for, and Thomas had it. Neely's got it now. And they kick it back, and there's a shot up and back of the rim twice. No.
Toni Morrison doing a good job on the boards, but just can't get it to fall today. Here comes Whittier.
We're going to go under the 6-minute mark here.
And theirs goes.
Shot up for Ashley Melendez, who joins the scorer's column. Lead is 17 at 25-8. 6 minutes to go in the ball game as we inbound it. And we'll walk it up with Talia Thomas. And that is Neely. And she went over and back, but oh well, it's 25
I'm thinking maybe there
to 8.
is no over and back.
Well, we had one of those calls.
Oh, we did. Okay.
Now we're in the backcourt, so you can't pressure her. It's like a safe haven.
Throw it over and back. Maybe they won't call it.
It's like getting to the embassy in a spy novel. Glass no for Neely. Rebound will go the other way with Hitchens. And Taylor has it, and the crowd clears, and she walks it across. 5:20 to go. A one-handed pass off the foot and run down there by Santana. Back to Taylor. She's guarded by Thomas. There's a icing down underneath.
Good job catching the ball there.
Yeah, very much was, because she caught it up over the head with the hands extended. And that's a skill. The most underrated skill in basketball, in my mind, is passing and catching the ball.
Correct.
I mean, and you have.
And there was another good catch
Yes,
there, and it led to a bucket.
And that was Adriana.
Double digits for Toni Morrison.
Whistle timeout by Jillian Van Wagner. You know, talking about passing and catching the ball, I think, you know, when I think about your team this year and that skill, the one thing that stands out so much, besides her athletic ability, about Shalanda Harvey is how well she is just able to go up, fully extended, and catch the basketball.
With a 25-inch vertical.
I think it's what makes her the player that she is. And, you know, we've talked a little bit about all of your accolades, but certainly congratulations to your team on the great year that you had here. The Lady Admirals returned to the regional after a
26-year layoff there.
And that was a great thing. And, you know, certainly the awards that you received are well-deserved. And the recognition that your players have received. And, you know, with only 3 seniors, I think you got to be kind of excited about next year.
They're very excited about next year. We have 9 girls currently playing AAU basketball in April and May, so I'm really excited about that. The remainder either in softball or track.
Just wonderful.
So.
I mean, and that's, you know, you want to keep them busy. You don't want you can't afford to have them specialize anymore, but you got to keep them busy too, and that's great.
Off season is the key.
Nope, a little bit of a travel there as Neely rebounded a missed shot. She Pele's it into the corner, so we'll go the other way with 4:20 to go. I think it is a goal. Did it go in that net? Or that's
I don't see Barry Buck chasing that one down.
No, that's the pitching screen from the baseball team. Now, Barry Buck wouldn't have fit through that opening to get that ball.
You said that, not me.
Here we go with Whittier coming back. Alexis Middlebrooks, 8 points to lead all scorers, and I don't think it's a stretch to say she's the most furthest along of skill development for these players.
Absolutely. Her father is the 8th grade basketball coach at Whittier Middle School.
Okay. Yeah.
That's Doug Lewis. And that's her stepfather. I apologize.
That was into the corner, and Talia Thomas missed it. Rebound is taken away, and here comes Middlebrooks, and she's got some speed. She's got a player with her there. Taken away. Good hustle coming back by Neely. 3:25 to go. 25-10, Whittier. And again, there's a big group at the scorer's table.
A gaggle, as you call them.
You know, nothing but positives here. I've not seen anybody hanging heads. I've seen no frustration.
Good attitudes.
Yeah, and you know, the bench has been all about encouragement. 3 new Lady Warriors, 35 Christina Atkinson, 50 Julia Taylor, 11 Mariah Hitchens. And you know, you're going to start to say they sprinted onto the court.
Yep.
The good thing is that they ran off the court. So they
slapping hands, high-fiving each other.
Recognize that it's somebody else's right to play, and that's an important thing.
Team sport.
We'll look to inbound the ball here. Aaliyah Worthy. This is Alexis Middlebrooks. Ahead of the pack, she's got
it's a good look. Difficulty catching it.
And that's a tough pass. As you try to teach kids, you've got to get wide, because throwing the ball to someone who is directly ahead of you is a very difficult angle, because they're looking back over the shoulder. And you struggle with that at the varsity levels, getting the kids to spread out and more angles. We're at 2:10 to go here as Talia Thomas hoists up a 3 that fails to draw iron and goes out of bounds to Whittier.
We got a nice number of fans here today, too.
And as we said, we will follow with the boys' game immediately following Longfellow and Lowell. The east side and the south side. Alexis Middlebrooks dribbles it, under a minute 50 to go. Picked up by Mariah Hitchens. She's guarded by Adriana Noble. Back to Middlebrooks, who's going to try one for three that didn't draw iron and goes out of bounds. Larry Reardon will send it down to Morrison here. They'll inbound it. But first we'll get some substitutions. 4 of them. 31 Mackenzie Stoika, 40 Laura Santana, 41 Jessica Taylor, 54 Makia Noble into the Whittier lineup. Now I'm going to do that because the Longfellow boys, I believe, are over there.
And I was just thinking, it's the Longhorns from Longfellow?
Yes,
and
it
is it the Tigers from Lowell?
I don't know. I don't know that one. I'll have to look at my walls when I go to Charleston the next time because they're all up there. And that whistle there, Barry Buck, with under a minute to go and the clock stopped. The foul is being signaled on 41 because we don't have a 14. And we're going to shoot 1 and 1. And it will be Gabrielle Perez. She has 2 of the 10 points for her team. We could say she's the second leading scorer for her team. Yes. Neely,
balanced attack.
6, 2, and 2. So she will shoot 1 and 1. 57.4 seconds to go. A little bit long and to the right, not drawing rim. Whittier will take over and bring it up court.
Under a minute.
And, you know, it's been clear for some time, Cheryl, that Whittier is going to walk away with this championship. And, you know, sitting here talking about this earlier, I don't remember the 2 teams that played for the title last year. I remember enjoying doing the games, and I remember thinking how good it was for the City of Lorain athletics. And that's what's really important here as Taylor hoists one up that goes out of bounds and Larry Reardon runs it down in the end zone. 37.2 to go.
It's hard for the girls to understand it's not about the score.
Right.
But it's really
you know
not.
What? To them it is. Right
Correct.
now. Right now. I mean, you just have to hope that we can put it all in perspective. And I'm very glad to see the adults keeping it in perspective.
Correct.
Because I've seen Little League parents in all sports. We'll get one more trip to the corner for referee Buck, and with 29.2 to go, Morrison will inbound with DeJohn Worthy. Knocked away, and here comes Alexis Middlebrooks. She'll bring it across, and we're going to go under 20 seconds. No-look pass is taken away by Worthy. She's going to bring it across half court, and we're under 15. And this is Talia Thomas. Jessica Taylor guarding her.
It looked like we're in a little bit of a zone there. I'm sure the girls not realizing that's what they're doing, but.
There's like a shot off the glass at the buzzer. DeJohn Worthy gets on the scoreboard. And the game ends with a 13-point cushion for Whittier just as the second half started. Our final score today in the girls' 5th and 6th grade championship. The Lady Warriors as they celebrate. What is the song that we'll hear Monday night? One Moment in Time?
We are the champions.
This is their moment in time. The Lady Warriors from Whittier, 25. The ladies from Toni Morrison, 12. And Whittier will take home the 5th and 6th grade champion. 6th grade championship. Whittier doesn't have 5th grade.
That's correct.
The ladies line up to shake hands. I think this is as much important as anything. Brian Corey is going to present medals because we haven't talked about it. Joe, are we sticking around for the medal presentation ceremony?
That's Sean Hood joining Brian Corey down there on the floor. Sean works here at Admiral King. He's the director of this elementary program.
And I think the 2 of those gentlemen will be joining me in the second game for the boys' game. And the Lady Warriors, you know, again, we talked about, you know, the excitement of playing on the big court with the bleachers out and real officials and an announcer. The other part of that for these ladies is the ability to celebrate like the big kids. I mean, they won the biggest prize in their season. The
yes.
Lady Warriors will take home.
And they do so appropriately.
First, we'll get the runner-up medals for the ladies from Morrison, coached by Jillian Van Wagenen. Number 4 is Talia Thomas. And Sean Hood shakes her hand. Director of Basketball Operations, Sean Hood. Let's see. Does a lot of work with the boys. I know he helps you out a great deal. And
he's actually a member of our staff, coaching staff this coming year. He's an off-season coach. So
Adriana Neely, number 5. And you know what? In my time here with Coach Sean Hood, just a real good, positive influence on the students at Admiral King. We're lucky to have him. DeJohn Worthy, 15. And Aaliyah Worthy, 33, receiving their medals. You know, I'm sure at some point right now, racing through Jillian Van Wagenen's mind, at least in some sort of a flashback, is her moment when the medal was placed on her, around her neck at Medina. Because I've watched that on Channel 20 several times, and it was just a real exciting thing. I mean, you don't have a copy of it, do you?
Oh, just a couple.
I'm certain that your parents haven't watched it.
Oh, no, just a couple.
And it was, you know, talking about coincidences, and it's probably a conversation for off the air, but I was down at the boys' state finals with the former athletic director, Ray Ebersol, who actually was part of getting this off the ground many years ago. And we were sitting there, and who appears in the 2 seats directly behind us but your brother and Red Kaler from Columbia. And these are the ladies from Whittier receiving their championship medals, and that's number 11, Mariah Hitchens, 15, Skylar Bromley, 30 is Alexis Middlebrooks, and this is 31, Mackenzie Stoika, 35, Christina Atkinson. But, you know, I look at Christina Atkinson and I see
size.
I see Shaniqua Ogle.
I see size.
I see the
aggressiveness.
Same exact,
yes.
Laura Santana. I mean, maybe unfair comparison to her because Shaniqua is so advanced in understanding the game. Jessica Taylor, and 50 is Julia Taylor. 51, Shariona King, and again, I apologize for my handwriting as much as the pronunciation there. 54 is Makia Noble, and 55, Ashley Melendez. Round out the champions from the Lady Warriors.
That's Cashel Rivera, head coach.
Cashel gets her medal.
I'm sorry, Cashel Williams.
Cashel Williams, and that will do it as Joe Bach pans the victorious bench. We're going to sign off, but we're going to sign off with a couple of, by reminding you that the boys' game is yet to follow on WLCS Channel 20. But for the girls' contest this year, the 6th grade ladies from Whittier, 25. The 5th and 6th grade ladies from Toni Morrison, 12. Congratulations to both teams, and we'll be back with boys' actions right after this.
This has been a production of Lorain City Schools, TV20 WLCS.
To purchase a high-quality copy of the program you just viewed, please call Lorain City Schools Television at 282-8400.
Your lawnmower needs serviced. Your snowblower doesn't work. Your riding mower needs repaired. Who are you going to call? To avoid all this frustration and for no mower worries, call Mark Furman Mobile Mower Service at 315-0250. Mark Furman Mobile Mower Service makes good old-fashioned house calls. Most services done on-site at your home when it's convenient for you. He's been servicing the area's power equipment needs for over 30 years, servicing most makes, including Sears, MTD yard machines, Briggs & Stratton, and other major name brands. Remember, for no mower worries and for fast, experienced professional service, call Mark Furman Mobile Mower Service at 315-0250.
Since 1921, your hometown financial professionals at First Federal Savings of Lorain have dedicated themselves to meeting the financial needs of their customers and surrounding communities. They offer a wide variety of financial investments as well as home mortgages to meet your every need. Loans on boats, cars, mobile homes, and other worthwhile purchases are also available. Whatever your financial need, First Federal Savings of Lorain is ready to help with 8 convenient locations to serve you in Lorain, Avon, Huron, Sandusky, Port Clinton, and now its newest location at Park Avenue and Levitt Road in Amherst. First Federal Savings of Lorain is an equal housing lender and FDIC insured.
Looking for the right color, the right style, the right price for your floor coverings?
Well, you can find them all at Ted's Floor Coverings, the only place you need to shop for affordable custom flooring. Whether you're looking for area rugs, carpeting, laminates, ceramic, or marble, you'll enjoy browsing through one of the largest showrooms in Northeast Ohio. Their talented staff will even help with your design questions. Ted's is proud to showcase the Kathy Ireland Shades of America collection. Shop at Ted's Floor Covering, 668 Broadway, downtown Lorain, a local company committed to our community. Ted Kalo, President. Your one-stop place for something really special is Impressions, corner of Oberlin Avenue and Tower Boulevard. T-shirts and sweatshirts personally designed to your specific needs. Anything from bears, trains to zebras, and specially designed hats as well. And don't forget Impressions, your one-stop spot for school jackets. See Dave, the designer expert at Impressions, Oberlin Avenue at Tower Boulevard, right here in Lorain.
For the best sports in Lorain, that's TV20, Lorain City Schools Television.
Back at the Shot Palace, Final Four Saturday, and it's the boys' 5th and 6th grade championship here. The gentlemen from Longfellow will be taking on the gentlemen from Lowell. Joining me is Coach Sean Hood from the Admiral King boys and girls staff, as Coach Bansick told me. Welcome, Sean. And, you know, you've done a great job here as you're also the director of this 5th and 6th grade program. What do you look for here to round out this event in terms of just what do you hope to see from players as a high school coach?
Well, first let me say the girls' game was a very, very interesting game. Because the girls from Toni Morrison will eventually feed into Admiral King should they choose to go to their home school, and the girls from Whittier will eventually go to Southview should they choose to go to their home school. And it appeared that the Whittier girls were much more skilled than the Toni Morrison girls, although the Toni Morrison girls were more athletic. In this game, I think it's fairly even in terms of skill and athleticism in both groups. And so the Longfellow team will hopefully feed into Admiral King, where I coach basketball, and the Lowell kids will feed into Southview. But I'm really impressed with the Lowell kids. They have a few highly skilled basketball players. So I think they're the favorite, but I think Longfellow will compete. It'll be a lot of fun.
Well, we'll set the lineups here in black as we get ready, and referee Jim Moore looking up here to see, for the okay to start the ball game. In black, number 11, Mike Velez will jump center. He's joined by number 12, Sammy Rivera, 22, Andrew Orlano. Number 21 is Justin Rivera, and number 35, William Washington. Tip controlled by Longfellow will set them. Jalen Jackson has it. 20 is Damon Knowles. He's going to hoist one from the top of the key. It's a two-pointer.
Well, that's a great shot. And
he was
Damon,
open.
Damon plays for me in my travel basketball league.
Very good. So you taught him that.
Absolutely.
Had it not gone in, he learned it from his coach here. He's got a loose ball here.
This is Jalen. He also plays for me in my travel basketball league.
We'll review the rules here. We play 2 20-minute halves, running clock except for the last minute of the ball game, and timeouts. Whistle and official Barry Buck had something underneath that looked to be a 3-second call.
I believe it was.
And we'll come back with Lowell. This is 35, William Washington. As we said, 52, Xavier Hill is guarding him. Taken away by Damon Knowles, and up ahead to Jalen Jackson. They turned the floor over very nicely.
Washington lost that ball there, but I think he's the best player on the floor. He's very, very skilled and tough.
That Jalen Jackson shot, or Justin Torres shot off the front of the rim. We come back, there's Washington. That number 11 down low. 22 is Orlano, and that pass from Velez ties the game at 2. I think we've got everybody up. Missed number 21, Justin Rivera, in black for Lowell. And then Ian Hurst, 34, in yellow. 21, Robert Christ. And 52, Xavier Hill, as we said, for Longfellow. This is Hill.
Xavier's a pretty good shooter. He's a lefty too, Jay.
Always like to see that. That rebound up and no by Knowles. And here's another one of the rules. After the defending team controls the ball, we can't play defense till it comes to the front court. So as Sammy Rivera brings it across, you see Longfellow waiting for him. Then there's a whistle, and Mr. Buck has a foul. We don't keep track of fouls in this game, so it's not about foul trouble. And you'll see a lot of substitutions, I'm sure. Whistle, and there's a travel. And for those of you that may have watched the first game and are now watching this game, and you're saying, in the first game that wasn't a travel, why is it a travel now? I think that the officials in this, and it's Jim Moore and Barry Buck, do a great job refereeing the game to the skill level of the players so that it's not all whistles.
Absolutely. We ask the officials to use great judgment in terms of the violations that they call. We want the game to move, go up and down, and we want people to get shots and have fun, and they do a great job with that.
Jackson, no. Rebound, Chris, no. Rebound, Hill, no. Or not Hill, but Hurst, no, and he got fouled.
Hurst is the absolute most aggressive offensive rebounder that I have ever been around at that stage of the game. He also plays for me, Jay, in my travel basketball.
So you're pretty much undefeated, huh? And there's a little instruction from the officials. This is the first time on the big court for these kids. So things like the lane markings and that. And one of the other things, and I can remember when we did it, and there was a big debate when they refinished the floor when I coached here, is that yellow stripe around the edge, is that a good color for an out-of-bounds mark? And sitting up here, it's very difficult to see part of it, but down there at the floor level for the officials, it's not a problem. Hook shot.
That's a great shot by Xavier there, the lefty, sweeping hook shot.
4-2 Longfellow as Rivera has it off to Washington into the lane. Crossed over, no. Got it back and scored. William Washington with 2.
That's the toughness of Washington there. As I said before, I think he's the best player on the floor, and he misses the shot and goes right back and gets it. And here he is on the floor. He's really a good player. His future's bright.
Mike Velez, Justin Rivera, and back to Sammy Rivera. One-hand pass.
I'm not sure what Rivera saw there.
I think if Hurst had stepped away, that might have hit the bleachers. That was had a little heat on it.
Rivera might need to check the color of his jersey.
Washington in, nice penetration move, shot, score, foul, and right away. Again, we talked in the last game about, I don't remember what the score was. I don't remember the two teams involved, but last year when we did this game, I remember the quality of the play and the domination of Draven Lucky at this level, who has since moved on to Whittier 7th grade, and very similarly inside, just bigger and stronger.
Absolutely.
And as Washington made that move, that's what struck me right there. As he didn't make the initial shot, but he got the rebound and put it back.
Yeah, Lucky was the best player on the floor last year, and ironically, he played for Lowell, and so here's Lowell back in the championship again, and so I think that's an indication of the talent that they get at Lowell.
There's Washington. Again, going up and catching the ball with arms extended above the head. That may seem trivial. In length of the court, he gets fouled. But as we talked in the first game, in my opinion, the most underrated skill in basketball is passing and catching.
I agree. I think there are 3 skills that are not quite to where they should be, in particular at this level. It's passing and catching too, but the other is shooting. But you're right, Jay.
William Washington makes the first of his 2 free throws. Off the bench for Longfellow, Alex Laporte, number 33, is the first sub. 7-4, Lowell.
Most people, without an expert eye, would not understand the difficulty at this level to bring that ball from that basket all the way down the floor and get that shot off like Washington did. And, he's really going to be a good player.
It's a great effort there. A couple of players on the floor. It's out of bounds off Washington. Both he and Orellano were on the floor after the loose ball. And that coaches like that at no matter what level you're at. Xavier Hill will walk it up. 13:34 to go. The clock ticks until the final minute of the ball game, except during timeouts. Jalen Jackson has it, hands it to Damon Knowles.
They seem to be a little stagnant with their offense here.
Back to Jackson. He is guarded by Sammy Rivera. And some of the rules, no trapping, right?
No double teaming and no trapping. That's right.
And got to be a man-to-man.
It's all man-to-man.
Shot long up there by Laporte and will come the other way with Washington. Nice
That's a
find,
great pass.
Whistle, and Robert Christ, the recipient of that pass, gets fouled.
When you have 5th and 6th grade players bringing the ball up the floor, the length of the floor, making that kind of pass, that's an indication of a high skill. And I'm really impressed with Washington, as I said. But as a very good catch, like you said, passing and catching are two of the weakest skills in the game. And he had to make that catch and get that shot off. That's very good basketball.
Nobody gets on Sports Center catching a ball. Substitution for Longfellow, number 14, Isaiah Rosario.
All those dunks you see in the Sports Center, though, they have to catch it before they dunk it.
And they have to come, the pass has to come from someone.
Absolutely. Passing and catching.
And knocks them both down. Christ with 2, and he'll get. And you know what I just did? I just mixed them up. That was Justin Rivera at the line. I put it on the wrong team. So Justin Rivera hits 2 free throws, then comes out. Justin Torres replaces him. My apologies. We're 9-4 Lowell. There's a takeaway by Justin Torres, and he's going to bring it ahead. Xavier Hill took it away. Coaching point maybe as his skill develops a little bit more. Mr. Torres will be able to dribble that ball with the left hand away from the defender.
Absolutely.
You know, it's one of those things. As you're out there, we tried during the year to throw little coaching points like that in, and that's one of them.
Well, that's why we do this league, Jay. Our kids here in Lorain don't get enough exposure to the game early on, and so obviously they're going to lack those types of skills and understanding that it needs to be done. And so this is the league where it all starts.
And Coach Bancik and I talked a lot about that during the first game. Is everything that you see on TV tonight in the Final Four had to be taught at some level.
Absolutely.
And the quicker you can do that and make it a learned skill, the better off you are. Ian Hurst has a rebound and a foul. He's going to shoot 2 for Longfellow. They trail 9-4. 10:35 to go. Clock ticks as Hurst shoots his 2 free throws. Rim, glass, rim, and in. He's on the board with 1. Substitution is Malik Salam, number 42, in for Alex Laporte for Longfellow.
This young man this is his first year of playing organized basketball at all.
Wow.
And you see the way he shoots the ball, gets those fingers down. Now, he was taught by a pretty good coach in travel basketball.
Gee, let's see. Nice crossover there by Washington. Rim, no. But he goes and gets it and fights it back up, no. Rebound there is off to Longfellow, and Malik Salam outlets it. 3-pointer on the way, and no from Jalen Jackson. Back out to Xavier Hill, who's going to launch a lefty 3. No. Rebound knocked around, and I think it's going to be off Isaiah Rosario. Substitution number 30, Carlos Burrell for Lowell. And here comes another one, didn't quite make it on the court. We come up, and this is number 3, Justin Torres. Knocked away by Isaiah Rosario, and will come the other way. We are at 9:12 to go, and here's the yellow substitution. Melvin Rodriguez into the Longfellow lineup. We talked a little bit in the first game about this being a partnership, Sean, between the Lorain City Schools Athletic Department and the Boys and Girls Clubs, and some of the good things that Mike Conaber and his people do with the Boys and Girls Clubs. This is certainly one of them.
Absolutely. I mean, I cannot tell you how often I hear all the wonderful things happening at the Boys and Girls Club from my kids. And even my high school kids, they're there all the time. It's really a wonderful place. It serves the purpose that it's supposed to serve, to keep our kids doing positive things.
Xavier Hill hits a 3-ball there with the left hand, and it's 9-8. Lowell, as Washington walks it up and crosses in front of Hill, knocked it away, picked it back up. Going to come back down the lane and whistle.
Pretty good defense on Xavier.
Good help defense there, too. 24, Sherman Smith into the lineup for Longfellow. We're going to be at under 8 minutes as this one gets inbounded by Lowell. In and shot up, no, by Mike Velez. Back up and yes for William Washington. Washington has 7 of his team's 11. Lowell leads 11-8.
Longfellow's going to have to figure out a way to stop Washington. There's that offensive rebounding ability.
Boy, he does go and get it. That is Ian Hurst. Xavier Hill. And number 20, Damon Knowles. Oops, whistle, and got a couple of them in the lane.
As Damon plays more basketball, he'll learn to get that shot off. See, I would tell him that if you're open and no one's in front of you, you got to get that shot off. At this level, Jay, just getting the shot off is half the battle.
And getting the shot off, as we talked in the first game, getting the shot off to give it a chance to go in rather than getting it off just so it doesn't get blocked.
Absolutely, absolutely.
This is Washington. He penetrates in the lane. 45 in yellow, Nigel Edwards in at the last dead ball. Xavier Hill brings it across and hands it to Knowles, and Longfellow goes on the offense, trailing 11-8. Sherman Smith with it. Pass down to the baseline, and that is Melvin Rodriguez. Back out on top, Hill has it, and Knowles. Good patience.
Yeah, I'm not sure what coach has done to get them to play this patiently, but that's pretty good at this level.
He's got a lot of kids on the bench. He's taking them out when he Washington's pass ahead.
It always helps when you can take them out and sit them down.
Carlos Burrell too long, and we have a whistle and our first timeout with 6:09 to go in the first half. It's 11-8. The Lowell 5th and 6th graders over the Longfellow 5th and 6th graders. Gives us a chance here to mention some coaches. Longfellow 9-0 under Coach Scott Pataky, and Lowell 6-1 with Coach William Washington. And as Cheryl Bancic was telling us, we had a combination of some parents, some teachers, some community members, even some high school players volunteering to coach this, as it is through the Boys and Girls Club. It's a great thing, and what we have seen so far has just been very positive relationships between adults and kids throughout the day here.
Absolutely. Well, when I look to hire the coaches, I don't necessarily need those people who are basketball experts. I need the people who understand how to be positive role models with the kids, and that's more important than anything else.
Trying one from the corner, a little too tall and off the curtain there is Nigel Edwards. Yeah, a good experience here, a positive experience for kids will bring them back, and that's the important thing. As you coach these younger levels, that's the important thing to remember, is you can't win the World Series when you're in 6th grade, and so make it positive for kids. Whistle underneath there. Orlano is fouled trying to, as he turned and tried to shoot, and Jim Moore had that one. We'll stay down here as we go under 5.5. It'll be the black-shirted Lowell team that will inbound.
You talk about the coaches, Jay. I mean, you can see how excited these kids are to play this basketball game, how positive it is on the floor, how they just love to be out there, and that's an indication that the coaches are doing it right.
William Washington, a layup off the inbound. He's got 9 of the 13 points for Lowell, and they lead 13-8. Xavier Hill leading Longfellow with 5. Had it in the corner and passed it out. Now this is Knowles.
We talked earlier about Longfellow being patient, and it's always good when your team has the ability to play patient basketball. But I actually think Longfellow has to be a little bit more aggressive if they want to get back into this game.
Well, there's Xavier Hill going to try another one. Rim no that time from 3.
I like that shot.
That was a good look. And it was a nice find on the pass. Washington hard to the glass. That's the kind of move you expect to see Adrian Casey make down there.
Absolutely.
Not a 6th grader, and it's enough to get a timeout from the Longfellow coaching staff.
Yeah.
William Washington has 11 of the 15 points for Lowell. And I'll tell you what, I wouldn't say, selfish is not a word I would use to describe, because he has gotten everybody involved, but great recognition by his teammates too, knowing what their best option is.
Absolutely. Well, it helps when you can get the rebound and bring it down the floor and score the basket. I mean, I don't care what level you look at. Find me a guy who can rebound and bring it down the floor and finish, and I'll find you a superstar.
That's it.
I think Longfellow is going to really struggle to get back in this game if they don't find a way to kind of keep Washington under control.
Absolutely. Right now he's outscoring them himself, so they do have to find a way to do that. And they will try with Jalen Jackson, number 3, back into the lineup. And Damon Knowles, 20, and back to Xavier Hill, who looks to post up but travels. Tried to back him down, and a little LeBron there. Let's back him down and spin to the baseline. Again, that might not have been something we'd have seen called in the first game, but as we said, the officials are working it to their perceived skill level of the players.
They've done a good job at adjusting the whistle for the higher skill level.
The shot was no good, but look who's got it back. William Washington got that. Lopez had it, lost it off a Justin Torres shot. William Washington with 13, 17 to 8. He knocked it away, and here we go again. He gets it out to Torres, and this is Nate Fitzpatrick and number 12, Sammy Rivera. And there we go again. Whistle and a travel called by Jim Moore. And again, I mean, the skill level there.
Absolutely. I like how Washington just gave the referee the basketball, I'm sorry. He not only is he a good player, he's a great kid, and you can tell. Now you realize his father is the coach down.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Kudos to Dad for doing a great job.
Yeah. Length of the court and falling to the ground, Chris Lopez had it and fell and called for traveling as he was laying on the baseline. Here, 21, Justin Rivera is going to return to replace Lopez. For Lowell, they lead 17 to 8. We're under 2.5 as Xavier Hill walks it up. Xavier Hill, number 3, Jalen Jackson, number 20, Damon Knowles. 21 here is Robert Christ, and 34 Ian Hurst for Longfellow.
Longfellow seems to be a bit deflated at this particular time, and it's only a 9-point game in the first half. I really think that if they just picked up their aggressiveness offensively, they could easily get back into this game.
Nigel Edwards, 45, and I would agree with you that they have to look maybe to be a little bit more aggressive quickly before the defense gets organized.
Well, there's a great pass.
Sammy Rivera pass there, no. Will come the other way. Now here's where they need to maybe be a little bit more aggressive. Jalen Jackson off the dribble, skips it, and there's the catch that we talk about. Justin Rivera, Damon Knowles. Back to Justin Rivera. He'll hoist a 3. Will look good from here, but off the back of the iron.
It's a good shot.
Hurst with a rebound. That's what that gives you. He dribbled it on the baseline, so it's going to go the other way. But that's what that gives you, is it gives you the chance for the offensive rebound as well.
No question. I've seen these kids play all season long, and they seem to be far more hesitant in this game than they've been all season, and I'm not sure why.
14, Brandon Soto in black into the Lowell lineup. That shot in the lane and no for Sammy Rivera. And here we come back for Longfellow with Jalen Jackson. We're under 50 seconds in the half. That's going to be a backcourt violation as it went back. Knowles had to go back and get it. 40 seconds left. Lowell will, 38.7 to go. Clock stopped. We'll try to get The last shot for Lowell here. 17-8, they lead.
Let's see if Coach has them just take one shot here.
Well, and that's where I'd have gone. William Washington.
It doesn't look like he's thinking one shot. It looks like he's thinking any shot here. I hear some folks screaming one shot down there, but obviously the kids didn't get that.
Brandon Soto, a player that hadn't scored, just came off the bench, tried one, didn't make it, and, you know, that's to be encouraged, too. I mean, you want to teach them to play the right game, but get everybody involved, and Lowell has done that. Nice cross coming back there for Damon Knowles, but no. Washington, with the presence of mind to know how much time was winding up to throw at the length of the court. And after what I saw on Sports Center from Kevin Love this morning, anything's possible. Did you see that?
I did not see that shot.
That was unbelievable. But if you remember the LeBron commercial for Gatorade, where they used some camera angles and had him shooting the length of the court, Kevin Love from UCLA at the Final Four practice stood at the corner of the baseline and banked one in at the other end.
Unbelievable. And they caught that.
They caught it on tape and then did it again. He made 2 out of about 40.
Wow.
And he was a cult hero at the regional. I don't know if you've seen the one where he made one sitting down from half court.
I did not see that. I'm going to have to watch a little bit more Sports Center coming up.
Too much time on my hands. But it's halftime here, and we're going to take a break. We'll be back with second half action right now. Score, Lowell 17, Longfellow 8, 6th grade championship game. Jay Ferguson now joined by Athletic Director Brian Corey for the second half of the boys' 5th and 6th grade championship game. Lowell in black, 17, Longfellow in yellow, 8. As the old Lorain High School jerseys, Lorain Middle School jerseys come out for this one. 35 is William Washington. He's been the best player on the court thus far, 13 of the 17 points. 12, Sammy Rivera, 22, Andrew Orlano. They find Washington down low, whistle 3-second violation. As we get the rest of the Lowell lineup, 14, Brandon Soto, and 11 is Mike Velez. This is Jalen Jackson for Longfellow, number 3, along with number 20, Damon Knowles, 52, Xavier Hill, 34, Ian Hurst, and 21, Robert Christ. There's a nice move along the baseline by Knowles. He's got 4, and it's 17-10. And we were talking with Coach Hood at the end of the half, and he was saying that Longfellow needed to be a little bit more aggressive offensively. There it was.
Well, I agree. I mean, part of it is a little bit, with jitters. Kids play a little bit differently when they're...
And then there's that.
Yeah, when they're not on TV. Well, I'll tell you what, when it comes to William Washington, it's very seldom that you find a kid with the kind of body he has, big, strong kid that's as coordinated and as athletic as he is. I'm anxious to see him on a football field.
We talked a little bit in the first half, and I brought up the name Draven Lucky from last year's Lowell team, who had the same kind of performance. What a move there by Damon Knowles as he comes back underneath Washington and off the glass, 19-12. And that's how Longfellow has to get in it, by being aggressive offensively. Knocked away there and picked up and ahead for Jackson. Jackson stops in the lane, 10-footer, nope. Only shot at 8.
A great save, good hustle.
This is Mike Velez, and this is William Washington. I disagree with the referee Moore on that one, as the big high dribble never hit the floor the second time, but we talked in the first half, a little bit different rules situation. It's 20-minute running halves, stopping only for timeouts and in the last whistles in the last minute. So we're at 17.5 right now, as Knowles looking to continue that hot streak off the glass and chased down by Mike Velez.
Well, if Lowell is fortunate enough to pull this one out, their only loss of the season this year was to Longfellow. So I know that listening to the kids in the hallway before the game, they were talking revenge in the fact that that was their only loss, and they were pretty fired up. So
Washington went and got it and tied up by Hurst on the whistle. 34, Hurst is going to get called for the foul. That was a nifty little move there by Washington, kind of an up and under. And Lowell will inbound, 16:53 to go. And Not sure what happened there, and neither was the player, but Sammy Rivera hoisted it up, and we kept playing. Ian Hurst got the rebound, and we'll go the other way.
I haven't had a chance to watch too much of the first half. Well, I didn't get a chance to watch too much of the first half, Jay, but 34 for Longfellow.
Just missed the
Ian Hurst.
Offensive rebound there. Sean
he had at least 20 rebounds in the semifinals game yesterday. I don't know how well he did in the first half rebounding. But
wow. There's William Washington. And I don't know what you say there. I mean, as I told Sean a couple times in the first half, that's the kind of move you expect to see from Adrian Casey on this court.
Yeah.
Not a sixth grader. Xavier Hill had a 3 in the first half, missed that
and
one. And nice rebound by Robert Christ, reversed it up and got one. And Sean described Ian Hurst, who he knows, as the most aggressive offensive rebounder for his age that he had seen.
I agree. I'm telling you, I watched this. The difference in yesterday's semifinals game was that kid right there. I can't tell you how many important rebounds he got down the stretch, and he made the biggest difference in the last 2 minutes of the game than any other player.
Wide right as the free throw misses the rim. The whistle will send it the other way. It's 21-14 Lowell, and they have the ball. And it's brought across by Justin Rivera and given to Sammy Rivera. He uses a pick and penetrates into the lane and looks for William Washington, which is never a bad idea. His aggressive nature.
You know, at this stage, developmentally, you know, I don't know that you can necessarily defend him one-on-one. He's just too strong, and he's tall enough to power up over you. You know, he's very, very, very difficult kid to deal with at this level.
Chris called for the double dribble on that move. Washington's got 19 here. And, Brian, we talked in the first half, not a selfish 19. A lot of them have been go get them off the glass baskets, and he passes the ball very well. Nice one-handed move there by Velez, and Hurst comes away with another board. +9 for Lowell here at 23-14. Here is Damon Knowles. Whistle on the sideline is the call. And hand checking. Justin Torres called for that foul. Into the lineup, Malik Salam into the Longfellow lineup now, number 42. Longfellow will inbound it. We are counting down to 14 minutes with the running clock. Xavier Hill against Washington into the lane. And Jalen Jackson fakes a shot and comes down low and kicks it back out to Hill. Cross court, taken away. Here comes Justin Rivera.
Another thing that...
nice find there. Pass just a little too tall for Justin Torres.
Another problem that's being caused, I think, for Longfellow is the fact that this Lowell team plays in between their man and the ball defensively about as good as any elementary team I've seen, and they step and help so fast that this Longfellow team, I can tell, is used to putting the ball on the floor and getting into the paint, and they're having a very difficult time doing it. You can see they're already shading over. They're taking away cuts. That's very sophisticated for a sixth grade basketball team. You see the help right there? Yep. I mean, it's pretty amazing. And, you know, to the average viewer, it almost looks like a zone when it's just really good man.
Yeah, I mean, it's a man principle that you struggle to teach at the high school level sometimes. And as we talked here, as Washington finds the open man and the 3 ball by Justin Rivera, and chased down by Xavier Hill. As you watch the Final Four on TV tonight, recognize that every one of those things that those players do has to be learned at some level.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
The younger you learn it, the more chance you have to grow beyond the mundane, the how to line up for a free throw, the how to report to a ball game kinds of situations. Some subs here will pick up 22 Andrew Orellano in black back into the ball game. 45 Nigel Edwards inbounds for Longfellow. He joined us along with 33 Alex Laporte. There's Edwards into the lane. There was that help as he dribbled into 3. And there's a whistle, and we're going to have team 3 seconds as 2 Longfellow players trapped in the key. We'll be under 12 minutes as we inbound the ball here. 23-14 as Lowell brings it across. Coach Buck, referee Buck, blows the whistle so we can get Carlos Burrell into the game for Lowell. And we come across with Sammy Rivera here. They spread the floor very well, too. One of the reasons that William Washington is able to get looks like that is because the spacing is so good that they have discovered the we don't want to clump strategy.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it.
25-14, biggest lead of the ball game now for Lowell.
And you see how they're up in the passing lanes denying the entry pass, and obviously it results in a guy dribbling around a little bit more than you necessarily want him to, but you can tell that the Longfellow team is what they're trying to accomplish and how they're trying to accomplish it. It's just 7-8 games into the season, they haven't had to deal with that, and that's where the learning experience comes in, and hopefully they're better off for it.
Pass too tall and off the hands of Orellana. But what we're seeing down here with the success that they're having bringing the ball, and Knowles has had it a couple times, is the ability that if they can get to the baseline, there's nobody in that gap. There's nobody to help from there, which is why they may be having a little bit of success, penetrating along the baseline, because there's no next player at that point.
Exactly, because there is nobody in the post, and obviously that takes away a line of help right there.
30, Carlos Burrell was called for the foul. Substitute Sherman Smith in for Longfellow. 25-16, 10:20 to go, and we're ticking. Jalen Jackson in the corner. You heard the coach yell, no baseline there. Jackson came back out and tried one. Washington tips it back into a teammate, Justin Rivera, and he brings it ahead. And there is...
Right idea.
Good look.
Execution. That was the right idea.
It was a good
the right
look.
idea.
And
that's what you want him to do, look ahead and get first open man up the floor, and that's what he tried to accomplish. It's the right thing.
Unselfishness and great attitudes we've seen all day today in this game. Whoops.
Well, one thing I'll say, you have Coach Padicky here for Longfellow, Coach Washington here for Lowell. These guys are volunteers, and they're doing this because they just love kids and they love coaching. Coach Washington, obviously his son's a player on the team, wanted to be involved in his son's life and to help out other kids in the process. And Coach Padicky, he has no kids on this team. He just loves to coach. He loves the kids. He says, hey, if you need some help, I'm willing to come and help and coach a team, and it's a credit to them.
Substitutions, 3 Justin Torres, 10 Nate Fitzpatrick in black. This is Justin Rivera. The other one was Robert Christ, I believe, returning for Longfellow, number 21. We'll be under 9 minutes as we inbound here. 25-16, Lowell with the lead. And, both of these coaches have played, everybody. There's Washington handing it off, and traveling called as Sammy Rivera got his feet crossed a little bit. So Longfellow will have a chance to cut into the 9-point lead. Longfellow, a middle school, so we know that all of these kids are 6th graders for Longfellow, correct?
Correct.
What about Lowell?
All of them are 6th graders.
All 6th graders as well? Okay. There's a whistle, and Jackson couldn't get the footwork down in order to get stopped and pass it off to Nigel Edwards. Melvin Rodriguez coming back for Longfellow here as we're at 8:10 and counting with Lowell to inbound. 25-16. William Washington into the lane, crosses over.
A left-handed
hook might have been a little bit more than he bargained for there, and will come back the other way. And there's Knowles to the baseline before he's cut off.
Nice shot fake, and he takes it to A. There's a very nice move.
Jalen Jackson.
It's good to see him be aggressive. I thought he was a little bit tentative in the first half, and he's playing a little bit more aggressive in the second half, and they're going to need him to do that if they want to get back in the game.
We had an attempted hockey substitution that was waved off there by referee Buck, and we'll play on as we're under 7.5 minutes, 25-18. William Washington is never very far away from the basketball. And the basketball's never very far away from the rim.
He's the difference. Obviously.
Well, he's got 23 of his team's 27 at this point, so I would say so. Long three-pointer is wide by Jackson, and look who's got it. And leading the break is Washington. Justin Torres, nope. Washington tapped it out of bounds. Now we'll get those substitutions. Number 11, Mike Velez, and number 24, Chris Lopez for Lowell. number 14, Isaiah Rosario. And let me see if I can pick up the other number for Longfellow, 44, Melvin Rodriguez. There's a shot down the lane, basket and a foul. Mike Velez is going to go to the line. Nice finish there with one hand.
Good strong move.
And the lead is back to 9, looking for 10. Ian Hurst is looking to come in to the lineup for Longfellow there. As we line up, one thing Longfellow doesn't want to do is take a long time lining up for these kind of situations because the clock stays running, and we'll be at 6 minutes here at the completion of that. Off the rim, no, tapped away, and tried to get it to Washington. Longfellow comes out of it. Jalen Jackson going to stop and take a 17-footer. No, back up and no. And Melvin Rodriguez missed it, but there was a whistle. 35.
You know, that was one of those situations where the fact that William Washington is so much bigger and so much stronger, if he had done that to another kid that was his size, it may not have been a foul, but the fact that he did it to a kid that was not quite as big and not quite as strong, that little bit of stumbling forward was enough to get the call.
Jackson and Knowles. And Melvin Rodriguez tries one. Mike Velez gets the rebound, and here comes Lowell. It will be under 5 minutes here. William Washington down low. I'm very unselfish. Chris Lopez had it and got whacked, and he's going to go to the line for a couple. Gold timeout here was we're a tick under 5.
Chris Lopez's favorite athlete is Muhammad Ali.
Wow. Old school.
Old school. He's been watching some ESPN Classic.
I was going to say good for him because that tells me he has a sense of who we are. I see another one that has Dr. J down.
I know. Nate Fitzpatrick.
So, I mean, there's obviously lots of LeBron James and Chris Paul and Tracy McGrady in there, but Dr. J,
yep.
and not Dr. Dre, Dr. J. And you know what I see here that I really like, if I I really like is I see, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I see here Mike Velez. He's not interested in being a basketball player, an athlete, or a rapper. He wants to be a doctor.
Well, there you go.
Go for it, Mike.
Yep.
Back out on the court following the timeout, and we're at the line with Chris Lopez. He's got 2 throws coming, 27-18. Let's take a look here and see what we have to say about some of these favorite athletes.
I see that Coach Paddocky thinks of Jalen Jackson as a great leader in the heart of the team, and that's what I saw in the games that I've watched throughout the course of this year. He's been a great leader, and the kid's a great competitor.
Chris Lopez missed the second one on the way off the front. No, guess who got a rebound?
Yep.
And another
Just
one.
Too strong.
And here we go the other way, Xavier Hill. And you got to get out of there, fellas. You can't steal it on the outlet.
I see a lot of the Longfellow players, their favorite subject is gym. That was mine when I was in 6th grade also. If I had my choice, gym every day.
That's right. The whole year.
The whole year.
There's a hook shot by Knowles. No, and there's Hurst with the whistle, and he got fouled. He's going to go to the line. Ian Hurst. Nope, not Ian Hurst. Excuse me. Who was it? Yeah, it was Ian Hurst.
I was going to say, it was Ian Hurst. Ian Hurst, he's out here doing a great job with the basketball team, but his best sport is baseball.
Really?
Talking to some people and seeing what he filled out when it comes to his bio information. His favorite player is Grady Sizemore, and his favorite sport's baseball, and his hobbies are baseball. And talking to a few people, he's a heck of a baseball player too.
Hurst was 1 of 2 there in that trip. He's got a couple points, a whistle there, and it's the get back to the other side of half court call. 3:40 to go, 27-19 Lowell. William Washington with the ball, and from a scoring standpoint, he's been the story. Whistle, and there's a travel on Sammy Rivera. Looking at some of these lots of LeBron James fans here. I see a Daniel Gibson.
Robert Crest.
and maybe just a little bit of concern. I also see a Michael Vick. And I won't, you know.
Damon Knowles. You know, there's been a lot of Knowles that have gone through the city of Lorain that have been really good basketball players, and obviously he's going to be the next one because from what I've seen throughout the course of this year, he's one of the best all-around players and one of the most consistent players that I've seen so far this season.
Washington had a rebound. No, Velez got tied up there by Knowles. And 2:45 to go as we get ready to inbound. 27-19, William Washington off the inbounds. No, rebound by Xavier Hill. If Longfellow's going to have to get back in this one, they're going to almost have to score the next couple times down.
I agree. And it's going to have to start with this right here.
Jalen Jackson instead on the crossover shuffled the feet and called for traveling. 2:20 to go, and we have half of the complement. There we go. We got 2 players to inbound the ball now. And
there's a steal, and this is a big one right here.
Xavier Hill, no. And rebound off to Chris Lopez. And there's a steal in the backcourt. Didn't know you could do that at this point. Maybe.
I think they may have accidentally,
But breakout here. Whistle. And Justin Torres called for traveling. As we go under a minute 50 into the lineup, Andrew Orlano. And we're at
well, Jay, I don't mean to book out on you, but we're going to go get ready to give out these medals after this game. Thank you much.
Thank you, bud.
And, of course, the one and only Joe Bach.
And, Brian, before you go, let me get a comment about the contributions of the Boys and Girls Club toward the success of this program.
There's no doubt about it. They, you know, they stepped up and they did a great job helping us organize it. John McDermott does a terrific job. We were very fortunate to get the T-shirts, you know, for the kids that they wore during the regular season. For this game, we have the uniforms because of the numbers, but the T-shirts that the kids had, they got to keep them. They've been unbelievable. You know, I think we've developed a great partnership with them, and they've done a lot of different things with us, not only with basketball, but other sports too, and it's just been terrific. Hopefully we can build on it for the future and do bigger and better things.
Announcer's nightmare, 10 new players into the ball game as we go under a minute. Fortunately for us, they've been in before, so this one is no longer in doubt. 56.7 seconds to go, 29-19 Lowell. As bullying his way to the basket and call for traveling. 45, Nigel Edwards for Longfellow. 30, Carlos Burrell will inbound to 21, Justin Rivera, who walks it across. And we are at 45 seconds to go as the ball is taken away by Isaiah Rosario. Up ahead, this is Edwards. And shot up off the glass and no. Rebound brought out of there by Burrell. He gets it ahead to Nate Fitzpatrick, who gets one off the glass. No. Rebound fought for and is going to go out of bounds off of Chris Lopez. Quickly into the Longfellow lineup, Alex Laporte. 23.9 to go. He's on the court, replacing Isaiah Rosario. 29-19, Lowell, for the second year in a row, is going to walk away with the 5th and 6th grade city championship. To the baseline, Nigel Edwards tosses one up. No. Rebound off to Lowell. Chris Lopez ahead of the pack with a couple of teammates. Lopez, as we go under 10, whistle foul on 42, Malik Salam. And Lopez is going to get 2 throws. 8.1 seconds to go. And the undefeated season of Longfellow will come to an end as they will finish at 9-1. And avenging their only loss of the season, Lowell will take home the city championship for the second year in a row. 8.1 seconds, and this is Chris Lopez. First shot up and in. Tying the largest lead of the ball game at 30-19. Lopez on the board with his first point. Second one on the way and true as well. 31-19 by 12 now for Lowell. as the clock starts and we tick down the final seconds. 3-ball tossed up, and that ought to about do it as we battle for the rebound. And the Lowell 6th grade gentlemen take home the trophy in this one. 31 for them, 19 for the gentlemen from Longfellow. Both coaches do a good job congratulating their players for the effort and organizing them for the post-game handshake. Plenty of time later to celebrate for Lowell, but this is an important part, is how do, one of the things that team sports do, and as you can see if you watch the screen, Brian Corey has left me and is now down on the court. But one of the good things that you learn in team sports, not only working together for a common goal, which is an important thing, but you learn how to accept both success and failure and deal with it. And that's what part of this is. I mean, winning and losing is important in the lessons that it can bring for these young men and young ladies in the first game. And we have to talk about dealing with the success and disappointment that athletics brings. And as we look out onto the court, Sean Hood, who is the director of basketball operations for this and was with us in the first half of this game, didn't get a chance to thank Sean, but always a pleasure. He does a great job, and he is going to present the runner-up medals to the team from Longfellow. They were 9-1 on the season. Floor announcer Jim Popeil calls the name of number 3, Jalen Jackson, to get his first medal. And 14, Isaiah Rosario. And again, this is a great thing. The bleachers out, the big stage, the scoreboard and the scorer's table and the announcer and the television 20 and Joe Bach in the house. And now the medal presentation. This all is a part of the process. And while we talk about that, congratulations to both coaching staffs, because I saw lots of positive going on the bench during halftime. And you're disappointed in wins and losses, but the most important thing from a growth of program standpoint is that these kids have good experiences, learn something, and come back again next year. And we are down number 44, Melvin Rodriguez. I missed in there number 20, Damon Knowles, 21, Robert Chris, 24, Sherman Smith, 33, Alex Laporte, 34, Ian Hurst, 42, Malik Salam, 44, Melvin Rodriguez, 45, Nigel Edwards, and 52, Xavier Hill for Coach Scott Padaky and the Longfellow Longhorns. And now the championship medals. Number 3 is Justin Torres. Number 10, Nate Fitzpatrick. And it's going to feel like an Olympic gold medal to some of these kids. Good for them. Mike Velez. As long as we keep it in perspective and realize that come Monday, the most important thing is going to be what goes on in the classroom. 12, Sammy Rivera. 14, Brandon Soto. 21, Justin Rivera. For some of these kids, they can put it next to the one they won last year when they won the same game. Andrew Orlano, number 22. 24, Chris Lopez. 30, Carlos Burrell. And he's last because he's got the highest number, but maybe the key to the difference in this one, number 35, William Washington, who finished the game with 23 of his team's 31 points, outscoring Longfellow all by himself. Coach Washington on the bench, his father being congratulated, and we will add our congratulations to the team from Lowell for the second year in a row. And Jim Allen thanks everyone for their support. We will take our chance to wrap up winter sports here for WLCS TV 20. Joe Bach, This is our 52nd broadcast of the winter. That's an amazing number, and what you have to realize is 52 broadcasts is 52 dinners that Joe Bach didn't get to eat with his wife. So thank you, Mrs. Bach, for the sacrifices that you make for TV20. But as we wrap things up here at Lorain, Admiral King, and the Shot Palace, congratulations to Athletic Director Brian Corey, Director of Operations Sean Hood for this basketball program, as well as to all these coaches and young men. This is an outstanding event and a good thing for the growth of athletics in Lorain. Joe Bach, as always, it's a pleasure. Thank you for getting me on the air and allowing me to have some fun with events such as this. I look forward to it. I tell people this is my real job and really enjoy it. And for all you do for our athletes in Lorain, thank you so very much. So, as far as basketball goes, until November of 2008, this is Jay Ferguson saying, have a good night, everybody.
This has been a production of Lorain City Schools, TV20 WLCS.
To purchase a high-quality copy of the program you just viewed, please call Lorain City Schools Television at 282-8400.